guys, welcome back to another episode of No Tea, Just Coffee. My name is Tam.
And I'm Jordan.
So today we're going to talk about, womanhood. What does that mean? What does it look like? Maybe different stereotypes. What did that look like for us growing up? And, how do we learn about certain things, or maybe how did certain things affect us growing up into womanhood? And then our shoot the shit is going to be real laid back, but our top 5 sitcoms. Our top 5 sitcoms. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into it on the meat and potatoes. So, womanhood. What does that mean? I mean, I don't know. Like,
it's such a vast category. And so when Tam and I were talking, it's like, how do we break this down? So I guess like growing up, I guess we could start there. Like growing up, when you see womanhood or when you think of a woman, what kind of things came to mind? And then as you progress, because you get around other women, you learn and grow. Or, social media has a factor too. Like, what does it look like today?
Yeah. I mean, I know I can say, and I think this is the typical thing of, I think most of us growing up, when we looked at women, it was more so they ran the household, they cook and clean, and, maybe they're more of the stay-at-home person and not so much the independent person.
Yeah. The caretaker.
Yeah, the caretaker. I know for me, I saw differently just because I grew up in a single parent home, and I stayed with my mom. So I saw a independent woman. Like, my mom did everything for herself. I joke around, like, to this day, like growing up, every summer I would have summer projects.
Yeah.
And those summer projects would involve some type of
labor
work. Because that's just how she
and your
was.
Mom built was a deck?
Child, my mom just recently built a whole floating deck with a canopy and a whole thing, right? So I grew up seeing something different, something completely different, because it was just her.
Yeah.
She had to do what she had to do for herself and for her kids. And so for me, womanhood looked like the independent woman, and that is very much who I am.
Yeah.
Very much who I am. But for others, it can look differently. I do think it's about how you grew up. But then sometimes you have those people who like just go left and go the opposite of, like, because I could have been the type of person where I saw everything my mom had to do, and I'm like, I don't want that. True. So now I'm looking for a man who's going to be able to take care of me, So
I think that is true. Now that I'm thinking about it, like, I grew up in a 2-parent household, but my mom did everything. Everything. So me seeing that, I did go the opposite direction when I got here out on my own. I'm like, I don't want to be in a relationship. I don't really want to get married. I don't want to have kids. Like, I was an extremist, right? On the other side, I was like, I don't want no parts of this.
Right.
Because
I want the opposite of what
Yes. Because I saw the sacrifices that my mom would make. And, the dynamic of my dad's relationship, them two, it was very unhealthy.
Yeah.
It's funny because my sister's like, we did grow up in the same household, but my sister got the honeymoon stage of the relationship. I was that child that was like, let's save the marriage and have another child. And then I saw all the back and forth and trying to get their lives together. So when I got out here, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to date. I'm going to focus on my career. I'm not even caring about having a family.
That was me.
I don't want to have kids.
That's still kind of me a little bit. Talking about that was me. I'm still I'm still very much independent. I'm not the type of person, like, I remember at one point in time, I was younger, my mom like saying, like, yeah, when I this age, I'm gonna be married. And then that age came, and it's like,
well, maybe not.
Well, and even, but that's just like that's the thing that you're supposed to do,
Yeah,
you
yeah, yeah,
know?
yeah.
And then reality hits like it ain't that easy, sis, you know?
No. Yeah,
So
that's
yes,
true.
I have a boyfriend, like don't get me wrong, but like I'm very much independent.
Yeah.
I'm not the person I'm not the type of person that feels like I need to check off a box because
Right.
growing up
That's right.
that was this is the role or this is what you're supposed to do
Yeah.
as a woman or I mean as a
Yes.
man, whatever. Like I've been very much the
Mhm.
opposite of those things. I've
Yeah.
always been that way.
And I think now more than ever, there's a space for that.
Mhm.
But I think growing up, there was only like one or two options
Yes.
for a woman.
That is true.
And so womanhood went from very traditional
Very.
to now it's kind of like sis whatever.
Move. I'm doing all like it's such an extreme.
No, it can't be a little extreme where it's like I don't want a relationship. I'm very independent. I'm career. Da da da. That's
Mm-hmm.
perfectly fine. But I guess a little bit of the traditionalist in me is like you kind of need a life partner too, a little
Yeah.
bit, to kind of go on that journey with.
Yep.
You don't have to have kids, you don't have to be married, but it's good to have a life partner to kind of experience things with. So I think the good thing about womanhood is that it is what you make of it.
Regardless of like what you've seen, regardless how you grew up,
Regardless.
you make your own path with it.
And I think also something that I appreciate about where we are with womanhood is the camaraderie between women now. It's like we can give and take between each other. Like our lifestyles are different, but we help each other grow and we help each other recognize, where we fit within the world. I think instead of like maybe in the past, it was like, well, if you're not having kids, not having married, you kind of look like the black sheep.
Yeah. Or, I mean, sorry, I just got real comfortable. Like I'm about to say something real profound.
I was like,
but, or, just kind of piggybacking off of like that camaraderie now, whereas before, maybe there were at that point in time, there were like some stereotypes too.
It was.
Like I know for me, dark skinned woman, there was so many. What I will say though is that I cannot really think of a time where I was like directly affected based off of my skin color.
Like somebody did.
Right. Yes.
Treated you differently.
Right. I never, I can't say I really experienced that. And my parents did an amazing job with like just making sure either whether I was always dressed right, just words of affirmation. Like what they did a really good job with that. The only time I can, well, okay, there's two situations. This is when I was a child. I was 7, 8, maybe 9.
Okay.
I grew up with someone. We called each other sisters, and she was light skinned, beautiful. She was so pretty. Like she's still pretty. Sorry, like, she was so pretty. No, she's still very gorgeous, right? But we grew up together or whatever, and we did a lot of the same things. We both danced together. My mom had her own modeling school. We did modeling stuff together. And I remember my mom would take her models to this big what am I saying? Modeling convention in New York. IMTA is what it was called. Okay. She would take us there, and you basically that is point in time where you can possibly get picked up from the agent, be seen. And so I was really good in like runway because I grew up around it. That's what my mom did.
Yes.
Like for those of you who don't know, modeling was actually my first passion. Well, I'll say for those of you who really know me as being a dancer, modeling was my really my first passion because that's what I was around first. And so I remember going to this convention. I was entered into the runway. I got third place out of like thousands of people. So then at the end of the convention, you get callbacks, possibly callbacks from agencies that are interested.
Yeah.
And I will never forget. I remember like looking up to my mom because like everybody, everyone's getting callbacks. Like, okay, go in here, go in here. And I remember like tugging at my mom. I was like, Mom, did I get a call back? Did I get a call back?
Oh,
And I remember she looked down at me. I remember she looked down like just like I could tell she was just so disappointed. You know, it's just like
and she
it's
didn't want to
sad. She
disappoint
didn't
you.
want to disappoint me, but I didn't. And it wasn't because I wasn't good. Like I was good as a kid.
Yeah.
I was good as a kid, but my sister,
Got a call back.
she had several.
Oh
Yeah.
shit.
That's probably like one
Yep.
time in my life
Mm-hmm.
like where um like my skin color or
Yeah.
whatever like growing up affected me, but not really. It was really just a moment,
Yeah.
but like I said, my mom, she did, and my mom is like caramel complected.
Yeah.
Both for both she birthed some chocolate babies, okay? Both me and my brother, we are chocolate, and she is
Chocolate.
chocolate, and she is caramel, okay?
Yeah.
But she did a great job with just like raising me, and maybe that's why even like her like showing me like the independence of
Yeah.
like you got to do for yourself.
Yes.
Like you can't wait, you can't count on somebody. Like I don't
Right.
know how many times I didn't reach out to be like, hey, can you do X, Y, and Z? Like, yeah, I'll be able to. And it's like a whole week later, I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna do myself. But
Well, and I think that is the womanhood is hard to like pin down because it's
mm-hmm,
such a dynamic role that we play as women. And I
mm-hmm,
think it does include what they call like colorism.
yeah,
I think um one of my best friends even said like before she met me, it was like this thing that if you were light skinned, you had an attitude or something like that, or you were stuck up. And I remember her saying like many years later, like I was afraid to even talk to you because you were light skinned. I thought you were pretty, and I just knew you'd be stuck up. And I was like, when I say I'm the least stuck up person you will ever meet, like I'm so
mm-hmm.
down to earth. But I think that's another thing that we grew up in, but I'm glad that, and I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but I think like now women of all different colors, black and brown, can like
You're
come
seeing it more.
together.
You're seeing it more,
Yeah.
and you're seeing it more like public facing.
Yes.
Like there was one year. It was the year of the dark skinned girls. Okay, I was loving it because it was rare that you saw that.
Yeah,
You
no, yeah,
know,
that's true.
it was very rare that you saw that. But
Yeah.
like you said, now it's
Hmm.
like all women
Yes.
of all kind shape, like everything.
Everything. And I think it's like it has allowed us because again, back in the day, if you remember, like all the models were like super skinny. It, full figure just wasn't a thing. Like if you
Mm.
had curves back in the day, all the models, like I remember watching oh, what's the
Next time,
big next
Tyra
top
Bank, Tyra
next top
Banks,
model, but what's the lingerie company that always does the big,
Victoria's Secret.
thank you.
Oh,
I
their
remember watching it every year
their fashion
and
show.
thinking like these women are,
Toothpicks. Mm.
how do I, if that's what beauty is, like I'm like top heavy, I'm like, how do you fit in? But now womanhood is from that all the way to plus size and
And
then
I
some.
love it. I
And
love it. I live for it.
like Rihanna, her lingerie company, she
Hmm.
got women every shape and size.
Yeah. I remember I went to high school with I went to a performing arts high school, and there was this girl in my class. Man, rest in peace to her. But she was a bigger girl
Mm-hmm.
than the rest.
Yeah.
And I remember our teacher basically telling her that she wasn't gonna
Oh
basically
shit.
basically like succeed in
See,
the dance world. But I remember thinking to myself like, but she's one of the best
but she,
ones, and all because
yep.
she's a certain size.
Which that's not even. I think we, speaking of just like the generalization of womanhood, we focus so much on the outer
The
appearance. What the
outside,
hell does that have to
it's
do?
all about looks.
It is. And really,
It's
that's still today.
guys, it's hard being a woman. Okay, it
Shoot.
is hard being a female because it
Yeah.
does ultimately. I don't care what nobody says. It
Yep.
ultimately is always going to go
About
back
looks.
to the outside appearance.
Because now, and bless the hearts of the people who have passed getting BBLs and all this surgery to look a certain way physically. But you could be tore up on the inside and never really get to that wholeness because you're not working on yourself. That, for me, when I think about being a woman, just personally, my goal, and continues to be my goal, is to work on myself. Like, you know, whether that is self-care, whether that is patience, whether that is just educating myself. Like, internally, I'm always thinking about how I can be just a better individual because I'm very much aware that, and I'm proud to be a woman because we do run the world.
Period.
We really do.
Like, not even trying to be funny.
No.
Seriously.
Like, we set the precedent for everything. And that's for our household. That's for our children.
First off, the reason that all of us are here.
It's because of a woman. I saw a post, and I kind of don't even know if I want to talk about it, but it is kind of controversial. But I saw a post
about periods. Child.
Now, listen.
Now we talking about womanhood now.
I don't take nothing from nobody.
You want it? You can have it.
But who else out here is having periods other than a woman? And that is not even womanhood. Like, it how do I explain? What I'm saying is, like,
that doesn't define you.
Thank you.
But okay.
But it is what like the biology of a woman is having a period.
So okay, so I saw some of it floating around too, but was it? I know it was against two different parties, you know, but was the argument something like a trans woman is not a real woman? Is that where it started? I really don't know. I was trying
Jess Hilarious had posted that video of the, I believe it was transgender individual.
Yeah.
And they were saying that women cannot own. That's not ours. Like, a period is not ours. Like, you cannot have ownership of a period. Like, you do not own that. And I was like,
well, who does?
Because I've never seen anybody else have a period. Wait,
were they trying to say that if you what? I don't understand the argument. Child, I'm mind blown. Were they trying to say basically if you identify more as a woman,
but the way in which the body works, you couldn't even have a period. If you didn't start out,
even if you got surgery,
you still will not have a period.
You still don't,
right? So here's the thing that I think that, because Jess did bring. Now, I'm not saying I agree with everything that she said, but what I do agree with is that you're not gonna bash
biological women,
because that cannot be a new trend. Because Jess was saying the only reason why you exist is because of a woman, which includes having a period. Yeah. So I think
that's crazy.
We're in a very tricky time. I didn't even understand like why that statement would be made. Now I know like the transgender community, I'm sure they receive a lot of hate.
Oh yeah.
From men and women. But that doesn't mean the generality of a woman should be questioned or bashed or put down, because we are the creators of all human beings.
And
I know.
Well, I'm about to say something. I'm just gonna say it. Okay. Because at the end of the day,
your finger.
The person who made this comment, weren't they trying, or weren't they
identifying?
Yeah, I'm gonna leave it right there.
See, that's why I said, I hate to say it because it's controversial and I don't want to offend anybody, but at the same time, I am a woman and I know
that's offensive. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't like having periods. My periods be taking me out. But to try to, I guess, make an argument about that, I think that's really.
I guess I don't know where that
insane.
stems from. Like, it was such like hate that I was like, ooh, you
And
know.
you're right. Maybe there's like a longer, like an extended version of
I'm sure it is. There's got to be a reason why this individual
said that.
said that.
Yeah, there has to be.
But for me, I grew up in, excuse me, there was a lot of women in my family, and still is. I mean, more women than men. And I visually see the impact that women have in our family. Like my Aunt Rita is the, what do you call it?
The glue of the family.
The glue of the family. And the hard work that she puts in to make sure that our family is good, you know, in all ways. And that, to me, is what womanhood is about. We kind of set the precedent, we lead the way, we check on the family, we're doing all these different things. We're like a like an octopus. We got
wearing
like
all these different hats.
All these different hats and hands, and trying to make sure that everyone else is taken care of. And anybody who tries to bash women, it just rubbed me the wrong way, because I'm just like, women are phenomenal. I'm not saying that I've met every woman in this world. I'm not saying that women, there's not bad women out here that have done bad things, but in generally, women are warriors out here in this world. Like, they are really,
because we, unfortunately, we're put in situations where we have to be, you know? And so we have to, we have to create or build that tough skin. We have to know how to fight this war.
Yes.
And again, I can't necessarily speak personally right now in my life, but I have witnessed someone who has had to do that, which is my mom. You know, like I always say, like I want to be like my mom when I grow up, because the things that she,
I mean, just alone her building a deck. You ain't gotta tell me no more.
But I mean, yeah, she does that, but like I have seen, I can't even like explain it. Like I really think my mom is like a real life like
superhero,
superwoman.
Oh, absolutely.
Like she can peel that off and underneath his like, you know what
like
I mean?
Clark Kent go in the booth, come out with a cape.
Because it's just amazing, like what she can do. But
yeah,
she's had to. She's had no choice. Now that has she wanted to? No. Right. Like even me being independent, I don't want to always be independent.
But you know, the amazing thing is we got it in our toolkit.
In our toolkit to do it. Yeah. Absolutely.
Like if something goes wrong, you best believe a woman is gonna rise to the occasion.
Absolutely.
Now we're not gonna do everything perfectly, you know, like Tam was saying, like her mom didn't have a choice. I'm sure if she had a mate, she wouldn't have to go so heavy, but she didn't have a choice.
Right.
And that's the thing, like a woman can be like, okay, well, if that person can't do it, or if I don't have someone to do it, I gotta do it. Which, that is such a, you know, I mean, that's kind of the cards that we were dealt, but it's just a heavy burden sometimes, because women are supposed to do it. We don't really are not given the option to say no. You know, like even with, and I'm not saying all men, I have a wonderful husband, he's a wonderful father, but all I'm saying is if sometimes there's a choice of, if I don't want to take care of that kid,
they can leave.
Guess who's left with the child?
And then they looking like the bad person if they decide to give it up for adoption or let a parent take care of her. But yet the daddy was able to literally just walk home. Yeah.
And I'll give you one better. Even in a relationship, the woman carries the burden often of raising a child.
That's the care, like the
caretaker.
Of not just the child, but the family.
And the family. You know, we think about the emotional being of everybody. We think about the financials, the education, the everything you can, the food.
But like you said, I mean? that is just how we are built. Yeah. That I think every woman, like, you know, for again going back to the womanhood thing, what is womanhood? We are emotional, right? We have to think about all these different things to be able to keep what your family, or to keep whatever like going in the right direction. We have to be empathetic and sympathetic. Like
we hold the map and the compass.
Yeah.
We got this map, and it's like, and your partner definitely plays a role. I don't want it to
Yeah,
seem
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah,
it
yeah.
doesn't, but a woman really does have a lot of the time like the
They
vision
they
of.
steer it. You know how they said the woman is the
Oh,
neck and the husband is the head?
so true.
That is very true.
And
That's
I
very true.
I think too, like in social media, the self-care is heavy. Like, take care of yourself. And I think that was recognized, I don't know by who, but that women do a lot. And
Mhm.
sometimes we do too much.
Mhm.
And we sacrifice our well-beings to
Yeah.
take care of our family, to go so hard because we are expected to juggle it all and do it well.
Yeah, but we're just
Like,
naturally that though. It's crazy. We're just naturally,
just a renaissance
yeah.
woman.
And I guess for me, like when I think of womanhood, like even now with just us talking about things, for me, it's not necessarily like I don't think it should be a necessary focus on of the outside. Really, you like your
Mm-hmm.
outside appearance because we kind of talked
Yeah.
about that a little bit. It
Yeah.
is really about like um your ethics, your morals,
Mm-hmm.
like that is really for me
Yeah.
what womanhood is about,
I agree. Because there are women that have such a profound presence when they
Mhm.
enter the room,
Mhm.
and they don't got nothing to do. Now they may be beautiful or
Right.
whatever.
It's that energy though.
Oh my God. The
Woo!
energy, because that woman,
She about her business, baby.
and she has done the work,
Yes.
and you can't tell her nothing.
Yep.
And so that's honestly what I thrive every day to try to be better and better and better, so that um especially in my 30s,
Mhm.
being able to enter a room knowing that can't nobody really tell me nothing about myself that I don't already know. And I think that's the beautiful thing about womanhood, is that as you get older, you progress and get more settled with yourself, which then makes you make better decisions for yourself.
Now I'm going to tell you something. That's one thing I've said this for years. There is nobody that can tell me anything about myself that I don't already know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like that's how I think that's how just like in tuned and honest I am
Mm-hmm.
with myself. Like
Yep.
I'm not perfect.
Right.
I know my flaws.
Yeah.
I know I can be direct, or I know I can be
Yes.
like
Yeah.
literally there's nothing that no one can tell me about
No.
myself that I don't already know. And I think that does,
Yeah.
going back to what you're saying, it helps me.
And I think that, with that being said, it's not like we are not open to conversation about
Hmm.
ourselves. That doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean that, oh, well, you can't tell me nothing and I'm not open to
Right,
conversation.
right, right, right,
I'm
right.
definitely open to conversation because, yeah, I know I got flaws.
And actually, that might make it a little bit easier
Right.
because I do know what you're talking about. I'll be like, yeah,
Girl,
okay.
I know. I
You're
know how
right.
I
My
am.
bad. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know I got something about me
Yeah.
sometime, okay, let's talk about it. Or I'm like, I'm sorry, that wasn't even
Yeah.
intentional.
Right.
Like, I got a way about me.
Yeah.
So, but I think there's two things that go on, like, for me when I look at social media. There's self-care, and there's like women with natural hair and all these different
Mm-hmm.
melanin tones and everything. And then you have the other extreme of like your BBLs and,
Mm-hmm.
weave, nails, lashes, a lot of the aesthetics of.
I feel personally attacked.
Oh my God. But it's too extreme.
Yeah, no, you're right.
And so you kind of listen, I talk about you. But that is, and there's nothing wrong with either one of them.
No. And I will
It's
say, like, me doing this stuff, it's for me. I
Oh
don't.
yeah. No, I didn't mean
No, I
that in a
wasn't
negative
saying
way.
that towards you. I was
Oh,
being fun.
okay.
I
Yeah,
was
yeah,
being
yeah.
funny when I was like, I focused that. But like for me, like, yeah, I get my nails and my
Yeah.
lashes and I get it all done.
And
But
I
it is
think
for me.
absolutely. And that's what I want to.
Because at the end of the day, my man, he like me anyway. Okay. You were saying?
Bald or not, okay?
Okay.
I can shave my hair up tomorrow. But that's what I want to say about womanhood, is you find what works for you.
Mm-hmm.
Not what is
That's true.
prevalent in social media, not what your sisters, your cousins, your friends is doing. Like, find what makes your heart happy as a woman, that you can own, like
What womanhood
what
means to you.
womanhood means to
Yeah,
you.
because some people, man, I mean, that's true. Some people, I mean, I would hate to say, and maybe it's more 50-50, but yeah, there are some people who may identify womanhood differently. And that might be how you're supposed to be, kept up and your appearance is supposed to. And actually, that now really thinking about it, that is like, back in the day, like you're taught like how to properly, how to sit right.
Properly.
How to properly.
Etiquette.
Thank you. Etiquette.
Yeah, proper etiquette.
And, you're to use the fork this way and you're to, do this and that. And that is about an outside appearance. Sit straight, don't hunch over, like all of that, And
at the end of the day, screw that. That even matters. At the end of the day,
I took a whole etiquette class? Like my mom,
I'm not surprised.
In her modeling school, okay? This was a class. Yeah. And you learned you knew every, like the little fork to the big fork, the knife and the spoon. If you're resting, like if you're not done eating, you put the knife down and the fork lays over. Yeah, and then like where the cup is supposed child, because that's what we had to know how to do as women.
You're right.
And in real life, I'm like, like I'm eating with my fingers half the time. Like, forget this shit. I don't want to know this.
Glass what? Give me a can. I don't care about none of this.
So it can be an outside thing for some people if that's how they grew up. Yeah.
No, that is true. I mean, growing up, even like on my mother's side of the family, it was you go to school, you get married, and you have kids, and you 9 times out of 10 may be like a stay-at-home mom. And I knew very well that wasn't gonna work for me because I wanted to go to school, but I'm gonna have my career and kids and marriage and all that gonna come later if it comes.
Right.
So I think like right now it is definitely like a mixed bag.
That's true.
Of what womanhood is, and I can appreciate that. But there are times where I'm like, I hope that these young women out here know that they have options. It don't have to be one way or the other. You know what I mean?
I think what's really sad is like this generation now, because social media is so big. Like think like us growing up as Black women, what was thrown in our face was the white woman, skinny, blonde. That was
it.
That was the standard of beauty and what a woman should look like, et cetera, et cetera. And then now we've gotten to where it's like, nah, that ain't the standard. But now it's like, it's the BBLs. It's getting your breasts did. It's getting your hips done. It's doing this and doing that. That's a big issue. Like at least, I ain't gonna say at least, but we had more of like just, I'm not gonna say just, but we had a skin color more so to compare or to, But these individuals, they going under knives now. Like
it's serious.
They're going under knives
at a young age.
Yeah.
If I don't like my nose, I'm changing my nose. If I don't like my lips, I'm gonna get like I never heard of any of my friends in high school going and getting surgery, like plastic surgery.
And if so, one of my best friends, she got her breast done. And it wasn't like it was a bad thing or it was a secret.
Yeah.
But it was just like almost like a foreign thing. Like, wait, girl, you about to do what? Like,
why?
Like, what you about to do?
Yep.
But she was open, she was open about like, I mean, she still is, but yeah, she was one of the first people in my lives that like actually like got a certain surgery in regards to appearance or whatever. But
and I think I go back and forth with it because I never want to like make a woman feel bad for doing that. But I guess like
as long as it makes you happy, that's my thing.
And the intentions are pure.
Yes.
You're not doing this for no one else.
Yep.
But yourself.
My best friend, I'm not going to tell the full details, but she had her, like, before she got her breast done, she was tiny, okay? And she's already small.
Yeah.
like Like, you know, she's already like
She wasn't working with
small.
much.
She wasn't working with
Okay.
much. And so
Yeah.
somebody
Oh, shoot.
somebody said something and she went off on him, and it really like
Messed with her.
because that was an insecurity of hers, and because she was,
Yeah.
you know, she was in a certain like field or area to where like, you know, kind of was about looks, and everybody else around her,
Yep.
you know, and she over here flat chested. So
Yeah.
so yeah, that was her reason as to why. It had nothing to do with anybody else, right? It was just personally what she wanted and what made her, and it helped her as far as like her confidence or whatever.
And that's what I hope. I hope that because I even joke with my best friend, like, shoot, I want a mommy makeover. I probably will never get one, but I'm too afraid to go under at all.
My friend got one.
Oh, did she?
Oof. Yeah, my friend, she got a mommy makeover. I don't know the details, but like out of the details as far as like her recovery or whatever, but like when you think about that, like in a mommy makeover, like your whole everything, right?
Your breast, your stomach,
your butt,
everything. They just reconstruct.
Oof, Jesus.
And
I don't want it.
Now, like, I get it, because like my skin wasn't stretched out as much, you know, from having a child. I only had one, which, you know, sometimes can make a difference, but I know you can have extra skin on your stomach from having a child. So I'm not opposed to that. You know, I'm not opposed to any of that, really.
Right.
It's just make sure that it's just for you, because, you know, if it's not, you're taking a huge risk. I mean, you're basically like 2 seconds away from death, because they're putting you under, you know. So it's just like, just make sure that it's something that you want to do. But I really hope that womanhood doesn't get lost in the shuffle of all of these physical appearances that we see on social media. I hope that it's I know.
I think we already there.
Well, and then also like, and I love the City Girls.
Yeah.
But it's like this act bad, act bad, act bad. Okay. You know, it's a good song.
People are just too influenced. Like I can take that song and act bad,
and I don't gotta ingest it.
I'm going about my day. But people really take it to like
the next level.
Act bad. Okay, I'm about to go. Yeah.
It's like, sis, now you're giving women a bad name. Like, don't do it for the gram. Don't do it for the man.
People
don't
different
do
now.
it like stop. It just ain't. It ain't what it used to be. I don't even know, you know, what it is now. But I'm like, we see two opposite sides of the spectrum.
Yeah.
You know, and like the generation is like, you know, Tracy Ellis Ross, Tabitha Brown, these people that I follow, that's who I hone in on, because they're talking about like mental health, physical health, beauty, of course, but they're also talking about loving yourself.
Yeah.
And I think you don't hear on social media a man talking about love yourself. You don't hear it, do you? Like, man, we got to get here and love ourselves. No, you never hear that. Like, you don't. Like, women.
I'm not laughing at the fact. It's just like, dang, you don't. Yeah.
But women are tasked. If there is a task to be had out here in America, they're going to give it to a woman. Love yourself, give it to her. Take care of the kids, give it to her. Cook, give it to her. Clean, give it to her. You know what I mean? Raise a family entrepreneur. Give it to the woman.
Give it all to her.
Our bag is so
full and heavy.
Look like Erykah Badu, bag lady. We got so many bags that we carrying. You know,
then you have to be selfless sometimes. Child. You gotta think about the other person first today. Like, okay. It's your turn,
because as soon as a strong, independent woman come on social media, they bashing her because where your kids at? You married? You ain't got nobody?
Yeah, right.
You know, you're doing too much. You're working too hard. Like, sis is building a business.
Child.
She's building an empire. Let her, because a male can do that. A female cannot. So that's what I'm saying. Our society is so traditional. Social media is so non-traditional. It's like,
it's literally two different spectrums.
I don't know what
like you said, you do have the very because for a long time it's like, me and boyfriend, we've been together for so long. Oh, y'all not married? Who said I wanted to get married? Oh, then you ain't got no kids. Who said I wanted to have kids? And then you have this other spectrum of like just complete opposite, like
Yeah.
child, this world is.
And I'm just like, I'm thinking about, my younger years when I was in high school. Like, I wasn't thinking about being a woman. I was just Jordan. I'm just out here.
Right.
Just, and then as you get.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking about that either.
I wasn't. And then as you get older, more responsibilities, more things happen. Life is life, and you start to think about me as a woman.
But I don't even know if I was really thinking of things as a woman. It was just, okay, now adulthood. I don't know.
I think it might have been a combination of both for me.
Really?
And I think because I'll tell you when it started really is when I moved in with Alfred.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. When I my last my ex-boyfriend, that was like probably like the first like adult relationship I was in.
Yeah.
And yeah,
it got serious.
It got serious to the point I was scared because he was like a man. I mean, full. I was like, ooh, and in my mind, and at this time, I'm like late 20s, but I'm still probably mindset young, right? And then I have this man, and I'm like, okay,
what do I do with this?
What do I do? Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. That's when it kicked in. Yeah. And that was
life got real.
That was late for me.
Well, I was 23.
I was like 27, 28.
And if it really wasn't for my son, it probably would have been much later when I started to think like, who am I as a woman? Like, what kind of
That's a good point.
Precedent am I,
That is when it really kicks in though. Because before that, all you're doing is dating, you having fun. You don't have responsibility to no guy
you got
or nothing
bills
like
to
that.
pay, and that's it.
Yeah, and like if y'all not living together, like you're still doing your own thing. But baby, once you get into that first real
relationship, and that is interesting.
Yes. It's like wow.
Wasn't thinking about womanhood at all.
Wasn't.
Now, I saw
adulthood, yes, not womanhood.
But as I got older, I still even recognize like my aunt, her role in our family, and the things that she does. I still am very like, is that what I want to be when I get older? Like as a woman, like is this what womanhood is? Because something about when you get older, you start to like take in a lot more lessons and you're starting to like observe more and educate yourself more like as a woman. Because I remember like when I was younger, even my early 20s, my friends, I wasn't really like paying attention to like what they did and what they didn't do as it pertains to being a woman. It was just like girl being extra or but it never was like a formula for this is how a woman is. As I got older, I started to like observe my friends and my aunt, and you know what I mean, and really see like what is their even their dynamic of being in a relationship as a woman. I would start to pay attention to more as I got older.
I think like now thinking back on it, I think I had to maybe hone in more. I'll say like I actually had to pull out like, oh, I now have to actually cook for someone. Like that was the first time like I really had to like cook for someone. No, you know what I mean? Like laundry and it's or like whatever.
They looking to you to cook.
Well, let me say this though. He wasn't really, but I felt like I had to because I'm in a relationship. Because we actually this was he would cook sometimes, which was nice, and I like
thank God.
Yeah, no. It was very much like but that was the first time where I was like, oh, okay, I probably should. I'm going to take this head off. And let me put this one on, and let me get to work here.
Like, what I don't know. Like, what makes us assume that role. Just all right, because I remember when me and Alfred were
because
dating.
we are naturally,
I know,
caretakers.
we are.
Just naturally.
Like we didn't live together, but when he would get off work, he would come to my apartment, and I would have like dinner ready.
Yeah.
Who the heck told me to do that?
That's a natural thing until your partner may show you otherwise. Mm-hmm. Because again,
yeah, that's true.
And even with my current boyfriend, same thing. Like he will cook for me, right? Mm-hmm. But I think naturally, and I'm just using cooking as an example, but naturally, like, yes, as women, that's the first thing, like, oh, I need to cook, I need to clean, I need to do this. But until that person steps in and they're like, oh, you know what, I got this. Then you're like, oh, okay, so I don't have to do it all the time.
True.
Like,
because that is kind of like, it was like this unsaid role that Alfred played and I played. Did it work? Did we agree on it? We didn't agree on it.
Did you guys even talk about it?
We didn't even talk about it.
Right. You naturally fall into it.
As time went on, I don't want to do all of this stuff.
Right.
And then he started to help me. But it was like he was just allowing me to assume these positions.
Because traditionally that's what women do.
That's what women do.
Yeah.
But now, like to this day, like Alfred does his own laundry. Like, and if I cook, he'll wash dishes, and if he cooks, like now I feel like it's a partnership, and that's one thing I think that we get it confused in society, is that it is supposed to be a woman assumes all of these things, and a man just take just like one or two things. Like, no, if you guys are truly in a partnership, everybody pitches in where they can, because Lord knows nobody can do it all on their own. But I think because women traditionally have done it, we just assume that is okay.
I have one and I think I might have talked about them in a previous episode, but there's one relationship that I just love so much. And when I say it is truly a partnership, my best friend and her husband.
Oh yes,
baby. When I tell you it is not one-sided, it is not one way. It's not like what you need. I'll pick up wherever I need.
And that's definitely how it should be, because it really just makes our relationship that much better. Yeah, because you truly don't feel like you're in it alone.
And I'm pretty sure even with her, like, I'm just thinking back to like the beginning of the relationships, but I'm pretty sure like for her, like, she assumed the same thing as a woman. This is what I need to do to, keep my man happy. Hell, to keep my man.
There you go.
I used to hate that. To, doing certain things just to keep a man. Like,
keep him. He can go.
He can go. What?
I'm not keeping
I'm
nobody.
not bending backwards. No. What? No.
I don't really.
That used to bother me so bad.
That's another thing in social media. It is that. Oof. It's like keep a man, or it's almost like you let the man do what he want to do, but you still stay around. Like, it's almost like the woman is kind of like this toy.
The woman always folds, always has to bend more, always has to whatever.
It's like, oh, well, he can do what he want to do. I don't even care about it. I'm gonna do me. What?
Okay, child.
Yeah, you gonna do you. Okay. But you already know in the back of your mind, you thinking about what he doing. Don't sell yourself short, because society makes you believe that it's okay for you to be second. Like, ain't nobody out here playing second.
Okay, ain't that it?
I'm not doing that. And that's the older me for sure. Like, I ain't playing nobody second. Either we can go our opposite ways. It just ain't it. Right. Or I'm gonna be number one. I ain't being the sneaky link. That damn thing that became sneaky link. Ain't nobody doing that. Ugh. No. So,
oh goodness.
Anything else about womanhood, or?
No, I think, after really talking this out, I guess, like, womanhood, you can define it however you want to.
Absolutely.
Like I said, womanhood, earlier I had mentioned that womanhood is more so like your ethics and your character. And I still feel that way. I mean, I don't put a lot of emphasis on the outside appearance for somebody else. That is me getting my nails, lashes, whatever done. That does not define me
yeah.
as a woman.
That's
These are
right.
just things I want to do because
That's right.
I like them and they cute.
Yeah, that is a good point.
Yeah.
It really
So
doesn't define
not the outside.
no.
It is about like your morals and your ethics and
And I also think this damn fly.
I know.
Sorry, y'all. So I do think I didn't even get it. Hurt my hand. Ow, I hurt my hand. So anyway, I do think
It's a
it
lot happening.
is an like obligation, and I'm not saying of all women, but personally, I feel like it's an obligation for me to, especially because I have like a niece and I have younger cousins, to be some type of positive role model as a woman. I take
agree.
that seriously. Also with my good friends, like my good girlfriends, like I want to be a positive influence to them. I want to be a resource to them as a woman, so that because I know together we are better. If we're both positive, both helping each other grow, it helps me out tremendously because I think that is another layer of womanhood, is just that, what I say, camaraderie in the beginning. Because it does help you, grow just as a woman in general.
Yeah.
So
agreed.
All right. Ready for shoot the shit?
Top 5 sitcoms.
All right. I don't have mine yet. I do have like 2.
So I have like my number 1 all-time favorite sitcom, which is the Jamie Foxx show.
Yes.
I still to this day, I watch it. I fall asleep to it every night.
You? Where's it on? What is
VH1
it on,
at night. I fall now. Also, like I'm a late owl. It comes on at like 1 a.m. Okay,
Oof,
but I fall asleep. I fall asleep to his show.
Yeah.
And then on Saturdays, sometimes they'll do like a little marathon. I'm almost certain I have seen every scene. I've seen every episode, every song that he sings. Like in the series, I probably know every single song, every word. I just love that show. That's like
that's a good one.
Number 1. And I know people are like, what about Martin too?
Oh, that
of course. Like
okay, so 1 is Jamie Foxx.
1 for sure for me is Jamie Foxx.
Okay, 2.
Oh wait, we're ranking them in order or
your
just
top 5?
To continue on your personal device.
Girl, we didn't say nothing to you.
Siri, what's her name?
Siri, all up in my business. Okay, so Jamie Foxx, Martin, Fresh Prince. Yeah, Fresh Prince. Living Single.
Oh man, what a wonderful show.
Living Single. And I'm gonna say this show, but if you said another one, I'd probably switch it out. But I actually really liked My Wife and Kids.
You know what? With what's his name? The Wayans brother. I
did. I liked that.
I do see the reruns all the time, but I can't say that I watched it very much.
I did.
You did?
Yeah, I really liked it.
What era was that? The 90s? Yeah. Like late 90s?
No. Maybe it's so crazy to be
2000s?
like early 2000s. Like that's crazy to say.
Because that show's like 20 years old.
Yeah, probably about early 2000s.
Yeah.
But yeah, those.
Yeah, that was a good list.
Yeah, My Wife and Kids, I could probably swap it out with one, but for sure, yeah.
Okay, so I would say Martin, Living Single. Now this one I do fall asleep. The Golden Girls. When I say I love the Golden Girls,
I have a friend who
can't tell me nothing.
Obsessed.
Okay, look.
Thank you for being.
Blanche.
Yeah.
The Cosbys.
Wait, Blanche? What?
Blanche was off of Golden Girls.
Oh, I thought that's what I thought. I'm like, wait, that's a whole new show. Okay.
Yeah, the Cosbys, and my 5th one would be. Oh shoot!
See, all mine are like you done went back.
I know.
Yours are like back. Mine are like.
I can't think of my 5th one because.
Wait, so you never watched the Jamie Foxx show?
I did, but I didn't get into it probably to that level. What?
Another good one is the Steve Harvey show.
That one?
I know that one. I'm replacing that one with My Wife and Kids. That, yeah.
Yes. And you know what I used to
Hanging
watch?
out with Mr. Cooper.
I was just about to say that.
Yes.
That was a good. Oh, Family Matters.
Oh, Family Matters.
How did we forget about Family Matters with Urkel?
Oh,
I watched that heavy.
okay, what did I say? I said Jamie Foxx is staying. He ain't going nowhere. Martin's staying. Living Color for sure.
Oh shoot, I forgot about that one.
Family Matters.
I was gonna say Family Matters is my fifth. I got to go because I would wait on that show to come on, like a new episode. Like that was like my weekly thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to give it. Same thing with the Cosbys. I would wait and watch that show. You know what I would watch though? It's not a sitcom. Me and my sisters would wake up on Saturday morning and watch Soul Train.
Oh.
Do you remember that? Oh, my earring fell out. Do you remember that show?
I do.
We would get up every Saturday morning.
It's so
and like Shamar, remember when Shamar Moore?
Yes, I do, child. Yes. With his tight ass shirts
on.
Boy, get off this TV screen.
Oh, that's funny. But yeah, I do remember us getting up every morning like, we gotta watch Soul Train.
You know, I would watch it, but I wasn't. What I used to run home and watch was 106 in Park.
Oh, absolutely. You know what we forgot? I used to watch Moesha.
Oh!
Heavy. I used to wait for that. I know.
M to the O to the yes. Moesha. Oh, the Park. Oh. Yo, I'm forgetting about a lot. The Park, our top 5.
Can I just say that Black entertainment,
man,
was amazing during our time?
Yes.
Every show.
Good. And now it's all like, don't get me wrong, I still watch them. Mm-hmm. But now it's all like reality ratchet stuff.
That's it.
I still watch them, but
there's nothing else.
There's no real subs like those shows. Like those so shows,
good. And they were all nostalgic.
Yes,
it's about family and friends and just
things you can relate to.
You can relate to.
You can relate to every single one.
Now most of the shows you can't relate to.
No,
it's like CSI, and I got 77
different
versions of that. FBI, this and I'm like
NYC. I'm like, wait,
none
what?
of this we can relate. Now I did watch SVU, Law and Order.
No,
you didn't watch Law and Order.
That's not even a sitcom.
But you never watched it.
No, I don't like those type of shows. I just want to laugh.
I used to watch SVU a lot. That's because I like
that
kind of show. But now this makes me want to go back and watch some of the old shows that I used to watch.
I still watch a good portion because
sometimes Single I watch and Go to Girls.
Yep. Like I still so I still watch Jamie Foxx. I still watch Living Single. The Parkers still come on every now and again, and I'll sit and watch that. Family Matters, they still come on sometimes, and I'll watch that. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Like,
you know what else? Girlfriends. I used to watch Girlfriends heavy.
Girlfriend.
And Tracy Ellis Ross was just on Kevin Hart's talk show.
Sitting down with him. Yeah.
And she brought that up and I was like, oh my God.
Yeah. That was a lot of good.
It was a good show.
It was. I wasn't into like Friends.
Oh no. I have a best friend that literally every Saturday when we lived together, she'd watch Friends reruns.
But you know what? I have like thought to myself, like, maybe I should watch it. Because you would always wait. You know what I used to watch?
What?
You remember the show called Cheers?
Yes.
I used to watch Cheers.
Oh my God. I forgot about that show. That was a good show.
Yeah, I used to watch that.
And they did a remake, but it's with the Black family.
What?
Good Years. You remember that show from back in the day?
No.
It's a Good Years. One of those shows.
Wow.
It's with a Black family. Oh, what's the Malcolm in the Middle? Did you ever watch that show?
Oh, I never watched it, but I know what you're talking about.
I watched that show, and oh crap, what was the other show? Okay, Parenthood.
I know
with LL Cool J.
Yes, I forgot about that one.
I used to watch that show like every time it would come on. Wow. Was it Parenthood?
I don't know if it was called Parent, but I know what show you're talking about.
With LL.
Wow.
I mean, we had some really
good shows.
I mean, there's probably some we're not even thinking of.
Yep.
I
now
mean,
it's about to make me go back and like search for some
now
of this.
a non-black show that I used to watch was Step by Step.
Step by step, day by day by day. Full House.
Oh, now I can watch reruns of Full House.
Me too. Full House.
Most certainly.
Yeah.
Okay, one more, y'all, and we're gonna let you go. What's the show that? Oh crap! It was about a family, and it had
black or white show.
Black show.
Okay.
I think it had Tashina Arnold in it. No, Tashina Arnold's husband or ex-husband, and it was like the husband and a wife, and then it was like the father of the child was on the show too.
Is this like a recent one?
No,
This has to be.
This is
Tashina Arnold, her husband. I don't even know who her husband was. I don't know.
That's gonna bug me.
Yeah, I don't.
Did it have one of the Wayans in it? I don't think it.
What?
Can we look it up?
Oh, are you talking about Marlon? No.
Maybe. Oh no, let's look it up real quick.
Give us a second.
Tashina Arnold's husband.
Tashina Arnold's husband
was on that show.
Tashina
or her
Arnold's
ex-husband.
Husband TV show. Let's just see. The Neighborhood?
Let me see.
Happily Divorced. Hold on, wait.
Let me look.
Oh, that's right. I got that screen.
Oh, that's a good show. The Neighborhood. That is one show I watch right
that's
now.
The only
but
thing
no.
I don't know.
No, we're Tashina Arnold's husband. Nope, not Tashina Arnold. Who was Regina in Martin? Who was Gina?
You're talking about My Wife and Kids.
Thank you. Did you already say that?
Okay, and then on that note,
all right. Said that?
I hope you guys enjoyed this episode.
I have wasted your time on a show that she already said. I do apologize. I didn't hear it. Okay.
I was literally on my top 5 list.
Oh my God, I'm tired. I'm sorry, y'all.
Well, we hope you enjoyed this episode. We're going to allow Jordan to take a nap, okay?
Holy moly.
Oh, man.
Didn't even hear it.
It's okay. But thank you guys for watching and watching our shenanigans.
Lord.
And just remember, no tea.
Just coffee.
Bye.
Bye. I can't believe I just went around that whole thing. I missed the whole thing.
The whole thing.
And I'm literally thinking, hey guys, I didn't lose my mind. And it's not My Wife and Kids. It is.
First off, it is because she was saying the wrong.
Tashina Arnold.
She was saying the wrong names. Okay.
It was Tisha Campbell.
Yes.
Her husband was in a show called All of Us.
Dwayne Martin.
With
Lisa Ray.
Yeah. So I do need to take a nap, but not because of that. Okay. I just couldn't think of the show. It's called All of Us. Okay. So, all right, y'all. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.